etched in my mind. At dinner, I casually asked what's going on with Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. They seem to be fighting a lot lately. The 7-year itch, maybe, my dad said with a shrug. You don't know what you're talking about, my mom chimed in, shaking her head. It's because he failed at his business? I asked. Yeah, he and a friend tried to start an import-export company, but it went under. They lost everything and now owe tens of thousands, my mom added. I even saw a realtor showing their house earlier today. They're selling it to pay off the debt. Hearing this, I felt awful. I wanted to help her. That night, I reached out to a friend and we found summer jobs. My parents were supportive, seeing me so motivated at the end of the month. I earned my first paycheck $2,800. Most people would probably use that money to treat themselves or buy something nice, but I stood in front of their house, pacing at the stairs, clutching that money in my hands. When her husband left the house, I knocked on the door. Jennifer answered, looking exhausted. What's up? She asked. When she saw me standing there, I couldn't help but think back to that night on the rooftop, and my face turned red. I handed her an envelope filled with cash. Jennifer, I'm sorry for how I acted before I was immature. I know your family is struggling financially right now. I earned this money working this summer. Please take it. I stuffed the money into her hands and bolted back to my house. Little did I know that this simple gesture would change everything between us and turn me into a man. After giving Jennifer the money, I rushed home and tried to sleep early that night, but I couldn't. The next morning, when my parents had left for work, the doorbell rang. Who is it? I asked as I opened the door. Jennifer stood there looking at me with a soft smile. US boy, she said, handing me back the envelope of money. I appreciate your kindness, but you need to keep this. I tried to refuse if she wouldn't hear it as we both tugged at the envelope. I accidentally brushed against her. My face flushed instantly. She too stood there awkwardly, unsure of what to say. If you keep this up, I'll get mad, she finally said, trying to stay serious. I just really want to help you get through this, I replied earnestly. You're such a sweet boy. If only you were half as thoughtful as you. Her words trailed off, and I could see a deep sadness in her eyes. Seeing her like that tugged at my heart for a moment. The air between us was still. Neither of us said anything. Finally, I stammered, "Why don't you come in and sit down for a while? I can't take the money, though," she insisted, handing the envelope back. I didn't push it. Instead, I invited her inside. She sat down on the couch, looking around. "It's been a while since I've been in your house." "Yeah," I agreed with a smile. "Can I get you something to drink? Tea? Coffee? You have coffee?" she asked. Surprised I do. I picked up some while working at the grocery store. "Let me make you a cup." "Thanks," she said with a no. I went to the kitchen and brewed her some coffee. When I brought it back, she took the cup, but instead of drinking, she stared at it for a moment before placing it on the table. Time flies, doesn't it? "I remember when we first moved here, you were just a little kid, and now you're about to finish your second year of college," she said softly. "Yeah, I'll be 20 soon," I replied. "Your birthday's coming up, right?" "Yep, my parents are throwing a small party for me next Sunday." Jennifer looked at me with her usual warmth. "Do you want anything special for your birthday? Maybe I can get you gift." Hearing that, my heart skipped a beat. "I just like you to come to the party. I don't really need a gift." "Are you sure?" Jennifer smiled gently. "You don't want anything else?" "Well," I hesitated. Given her financial situation, I didn't want to burden her with getting me a present, but deep down, I still wanted something from her. It would mean more to me than any other gift. Before I could figure out what to say, she stood up and said, "I've never seen your room before. Mind showing me around?" "Sure," I replied without thinking, leading her to my room. "Sorry for the mess," I said awkwardly, glancing around when I turned back to look at her. I was shocked. Jennifer was leaning against the door, and she had locked it behind her.